Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDOWorkHereLady. I want to say thank you very much to everyone who's subscribed to this channel and hits the like button. And our first story for today. I work there, but I also live here, lady. I was on a late shift one night driving trains. As I changed ends at a terminus, about to do my last journey, I was stopped and asked by two rather drunk girls if this was the train to destination and when it was leaving. I said it wasn't, but it would be quicker to take this train and change at a certain station. They were pissed off. I gave an option of getting off at another station and taking a bus. I've never seen girls clap back and answer until this point. They were incredibly horrible and bitchy because they didn't know where the hell they were going and thought anyone in uniform would save them. I've given you options. It's your choice which one to take, I answered and thought nothing of it. I set off and finished at our normal point 25 minutes later and asked my relieving driver if they didn't mind if I drove for 2 more stops to my home station. If the train's busy, it saves me having to stand squashed with all the commuters inside. At my home station, after opening the doors, I got out of the cab, said goodbye to the other driver, and got in the lift on the platform, which was a few feet away from where I stopped. Everyone else walked up the stairs, which were a few feet back, so at this point, anyone who was making their way to the exit could clearly see me get out of the driver's cab and walk to the lift. I had to wait a minute, and it arrived, and as I got out of the lift, I ended up being behind the same 2 drunk girls from earlier. So either they sat way in the back of the train or were slow walkers. I went through the ticket barriers, and they were walking slowly in the same direction I was going. The pavement, sidewalk, was narrow, and there was traffic, so I couldn't step out and go around them. They alternately kept looking behind at me with disgusted faces. I was scrolling on my phone in my own world, not listening to anything. I could give a crap, to be honest. At this point, we were only 500 meters from the station. They then turned right onto a side road, so did I. I was then met with a squeal from one of them. "You are a disgusting pig. Who do you think you are, following 2 vulnerable ladies? You've been perving on us for the last hour, staring at us on the train, making lewd comments. We've already texted the police. They're on their way. Don't you dare go anywhere." Considering the fact that since the moment I first saw them, drove to my local station and walked to where I was, had only been about 35 minutes, I was very much on high alert. Plus, I was in my secure cab, so I was baffled by their accusations. Okay. What do you mean, okay? We know what you're up to. Don't deny it, you pig. Okay. At this point, I was so annoyed, and I wasn't having anything to do with them or entertaining their deranged thoughts. This seemed to make them angrier. I just stood where I was and activated Wi-Fi on my phone. I've had a close friend have his life destroyed by trumped-up false allegations, and I was not going to let that happen to me. I stayed silent and stood still. Just stared straight ahead until the cops turned up, ignoring everything they said. Finally, the police arrived, and I hear the girls go off, shrieking and exaggerating everything, even saying that I was trying to get into their house. I spoke to one of the officers and told him that I was driving a train, finished at this station, got into the lift, and went outside. Happened to end up behind them, and then these 2 girls started abusing me and threatened me as I was walking to my house. I said that as a Transport for City employee in Transport for City uniform, walking from Transport for City managed premises, that I feel I'm being threatened in my journey to and from the workplace, and I won't let it go. This got their attention. They overheard and started shrieking, "He's lying! He was trying to follow us and intimidate us." No, these 2 ladies have been stalking and harassing me since terminus. They've been incredibly intimidating and abusive towards me for no reason. They saw me get off at local station and decided to get off too and follow me. What do you mean they're stalking you? They're stalking me and preventing me from entering my own property. I fear for my own safety because they won't leave me alone. He's talking bullcrap. He's been following us. I fear for my own safety, especially with the fact they followed me once I got off the train and are trying to find out where I live. The entire interaction was recorded on CCTV at terminus on the platform and on the cameras on the side of the train. I can give you the details to be able to access all of those feeds. "Why would we know where you live?" they asked, hands on hips in the most obnoxious fashion. "Officer, could we please talk away from them? I'm happy to cooperate, just not in earshot of them." Yeah, sure. Knowing exactly what the CCTV images would show from Terminus, clapping at me and being in an argumentative stance, plus on board and the fact there's no audio, I knew they couldn't prove anything. Only thing it would show would be them being argumentative and me being in a calm, relaxed customer service pose. I explained to them what had happened, said that they happened to stop right outside my front door when this exchange started. Okay, can you open the door and prove it? Or do you have a driver's license or proof of address on you? I can, but I don't want to with them nearby, as I don't want them knowing where I live, but I can prove it without entering. Okay, but how? So I opened up my app and showed them a live feed of the CCTV camera I have pointing in that direction. I can prove this with audio of the entire encounter before you guys arrived. Don't worry, we'll sort them out. To clarify, here in the UK, we have a text service for British Transport Police. They probably use that. It's ingrained now to everyone. 61016. See it, say it, sort it. As a tangent, it actually is a great, useful service. Use it if you have to. I do have a driver's license, but since I don't have a car, I have no need to carry it on me. It was inside, so I didn't have anything on me that had my address on it. In the UK, you can produce ID at a later date if required by police. I did have my European train driver's license on me, but can't be sure the police would know what it was, if it wasn't BTP. Also, they got off at my local station, one that is nowhere near where they said they were going, not even the slightest hint of being the same direction. I guess some people just don't like being told no. I like to think they just didn't know where they were going at all or changed plans when they were on board. Either of those options are better than they actually were following me. Kevin assumes every woman in construction is a receptionist. Hint, we're not. This happened about 20 years ago. Equal opportunity was becoming a thing in the workplace, but in construction, things have a habit of not quite keeping pace. I'd been working for a manufacturing company in construction for several years. As the only woman in the sales area, I was given the task of manning the phones as well as operating and support. Men generally would accept me, putting them on hold for someone else in technical, while the guys tended to have to work harder to put them on hold. It was just one of those things, but it was logical. One day, a call came in. Alan, ya gamer. Good morning, company. How can we help you today? Kevin. Oh yes, I'd like to speak with one of the guys, please. I have a question. That's no problem. If you let me know what you need, I'd be happy to help you out. Oh no, that's okay. I'm happy to wait for one of the guys. Unfortunately, all the guys are busy on other calls, but I can help you now. I work in the sales section here as well. I'm looking at my coworker now, who's turned to look at me. He knows that voice. That's fine. I'm happy to wait. I prefer to speak to one of the guys. My coworker and I are looking at each other. We know what's going to happen next. No problem. Let me put you through. I put this gent on transfer, not breaking eye contact with my colleague. He's looking right back as he reaches out a hand and picks up the receiver. My colleague. Good morning. Company, how may we help you today? I can't hear the conversation, but there's silence as Kevin talks. My colleague keeps his eyes on me as he listens. Finally, he speaks. Colleague. Oh, you need to speak to the chemical specialist. Let me put you through. A smile starting to quirk my lips. As a person who has a lifelong love of science and chemistry, I naturally fell into specializing in what chemical products we sold. Over time, I ended up being the go-to for anything to do with technical queries. My colleague is still looking at me as he transfers the call. We are together in this golden moment. I reach out and pick up the call and bring the receiver up. Good morning. How may I help you? There's a long, pregnant silence on the line. Finally, Kevin speaks. Hello. I was being put through to your chemical specialist? This is better than that time my bestie made me cookies and forgot to tell me they were augmented. My colleague and I are grinning like fools. Maybe the phone is augmented. So I answer, that's me. After a silence while Kevin digested this horrifying news, to his credit, he managed to successfully process that I might be able to help him. The discussion went on normally from there, and I was able to sort his problem immediately. He even said thanks before he hung up. No. Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more videos, click here. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It's very important to me. And we'll see you soon.